We'll do a fresh reaction straight out of the ground. What a win. What a win. I mean, Hull were really poor, but what a win. I mean, it's been coming at it. Like, we've been playing reasonably well against West Brom, played really well against Birmingham, and I don't think it'll be that comfortable. I think in them being poor and us being half decent, we got a good result. Yeah, I would never have predicted that. I said 1-1 just because I know we can let in a sloppy goal, but today was superb. We did everything really well. They had one probably clear-cut chance that they missed, but yeah, other than that, it was pretty comfortable. I'm gonna be careful of vlogging around. If you're Hull City fans, I'll get back to the car and get back to you. Okay, we're away from the danger zone. We're walking to the car. Yeah, it was a very comfortable win in the end, wasn't it? Just, I don't know. Hull fans, I heard a lot of people with a lot of like hype, or you know, they seemed really confident, and then all our fans weren't confident. But that's football, isn't it? But I was quietly confident. Again, I was thinking we play well, but we might concede a sloppy goal like we did against Birmingham. So, but you take a 3-0 win away from home after all this drive as well. We're in the stands, in the concourse. We had a little conversation. Someone said, to be fair, you'll know who you are because you watch the vlog and well, watch the content. Ryan Hedges the score. We all laughed. He man of the match today, comfortably, I think. Like, but we know the issue with Hedges, he won't do that again now for the rest of the season. Really good today. Scored a really good goal, little chip. Like it's his signature really at this point, isn't it? He did a really good game. Could have won a hat trick. Ryan Hedges hat trick. But no, it was a really good game to go to. I'm glad I did. And again, he didn't. But yeah, I won't be at the home game, unfortunately, as much as I really want to go. I made plans. But that's surely put a good bit of optimism in the rest of the group now, in the fan base, thinking, you know what, we can do something here. I'm still thinking mid-table, but we've got an alright squad. It's not doom and gloom. Some of them, Cargbo needs a little bit of a, you know, got away with it in whoever he's played with his pace, but needs to put his foot down. But you know, good result. Happy days, off home, happy lad. Come on, you Blues.
Wow, what a game. Look, after our first few games, admittedly, as a fan base, we had a lot to be nervous about, you know. That first game wasn't great. Obviously, the Bradford City defeat, and obviously losing in the last 10 minutes against Birmingham. Left a lot of sour taste in a lot of the fans' mouths. But I looked back to kind of our pre-season days. Obviously, most notably to me was the game against Everton. And I noticed, obviously Everton were still early into their season, their training. I noticed a lot of quality on the field that I've kind of been holding on to regardless of the recent results. And even against Birmingham, obviously it's easy to be frustrated with the team. I think if you frame it in a way where you think about the fact that Birmingham are a side that's pretty across the board to be picked to be a top 6 team, a playoff team. We kind of controlled the play of that game and only lost it in the last 10 minutes where we had subs come on that weren't up to scratch with the rest of the team and how they were playing. I think today we showed the quality that we are unable to produce, and there's more of this to come, I feel like. Obviously, fans have been upset, as I've stated, due to the performances, but I think if you look at it in a glass half full type of way, you can see, as well as last year, you know, we've dealt with turmoil as a club with ownership and the way the club's run, but the players have always given their best and have always fought for something bigger than the current situation at hand. I think the armband to Cantwell has been huge. I think he's kind of taken his game up to another level. I feel like the reliance on his game to other teammates, now that he's responsible for the team as a whole, almost as a captain, he's kind of taken it to that next level. And I feel like that's maybe what we've needed. His class is obviously probably a level above what everyone else is capable of. But that's, I feel like, kind of made everybody else step up to another level. So today we've had Hedges, who's struggled in the past 12 months after JDT, kind of struggled. And I feel like with Cantwell's class and his confidence and ability now, after he's been recognised for his ability, like the likes of Hedges has stepped up where we probably wouldn't have seen under a Travis. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot to look forward to. The game was very solid. There's things to work on still. But I'm very happy overall with where we're going. I feel like maybe in those first few games we're a bit hard on the team, but I'd say not unreasonably, due to the management and the extenuating circumstances of the club. But I'd say there's a lot to look forward to. There's obviously still a lot to work on, but I don't think we're going to be in a relegation battle. I think we're going to be in that 10 to 7 range, and towards the end of the season we're going to be fighting. But there's promising signs, and I think we're in for the fighting chance. So come on, you fucking Blues, let's go!
So yeah, I've just got home after what is a really, really good away win. I thought I'd wait till I get home. I thought I'd collect my thoughts in the car. I know I said we'd get beat and what have you, but I was kind of reversing psychology, because when I go in all optimistic and say that we're going to win, we lose, and I was trying to reverse psychology. So don't get me wrong, I would have taken a draw before the game, given that Hull apparently were on fire and we were struggling to, I guess, score goals, weren't we? But no, today has been absolutely magnificent, fantastic performance. Didn't think much of Hull, to be fair. We nullified them, as I said, at half time. Made them look bang average, if not below average. There was a little flurry in the first half where we weathered the storm. Well, it wasn't a storm really, it was just heavy drizzle, wasn't it? I wouldn't even say they went close. And then second half we just completely dominated. They were kicking towards us, and I don't even remember them being down our side of the ground very much. So you've just got to take these days and celebrate them. So I guess it was only a matter of time, because I thought we played really well against West Brom away. I didn't go to that one, but I watched it on telly, the majority of it, and I don't think we deserved to lose that game, and then certainly last week I didn't think we deserved to lose that. So it's almost like all the frustration of the last 2 games has just been taken out on this particular one. But man for man, right across the field, the defence looked really good. Cantwell, exceptional player today. I guess I'm going to put a little dampener on it. He is absolutely playmaker in everything that we're doing at the minute, and God forbid should he get injured or anything like that. That might be a bit of a worry, but no, really, really good performance, solid performance, and it kind of puts a different slant on Norwich City, who I believe, or certainly were losing today. I think they might have finished now. I think they might have lost 2-1, but no, delighted. Happy days, onwards and upwards, and we go again.
Well, that was a much needed win, weren't it? That was desperately needed, and it's a shot into the veins and of kind of just the club, really, which we needed. To go away from home 3-0 win, despite the opposition, not being a team that will be up there. I anticipate them to be in and around the relegation zone. Hull. It's still a resounding result, and they'd had a decent start at Hull. I think 4 points from their first 2 games, so there were no mugs going into this game, but we made them look like that. Other than a couple half chances they had before we scored, they didn't do anything all game. Absolutely nothing after we scored. They just could not get back into it, which, when you're playing at home, isn't really a great look, is it? But I was speaking to Dirk last night on the Rovers rant, and you can maybe feel a bit unlucky with how our first 2 games have gone. The West Brom game, Ohashi, a lot of people were saying that should have been a penalty when he goes down in the box. I would agree. Personally, we probably should have had the penalty. Did we deserve to win that game? No. Did we even deserve to draw the game? Probably not. A loss was probably a fair result, but we were hard luck. It was hard luck, not to get that penalty. Obviously, we only had the one shot on target all game, and then but it's a 1-0 loss away at West Brom. Not many clubs will get anything from West Brom this season. They're going to be up there by the looks of it. And then obviously Birmingham at home. Birmingham, who again will be up there this season, you reckon, in and around the top 6, and it's a penalty that's been given away and a last minute goal because stupidly we left no one back on defence for the counter attack, and obviously a crap corner from Tavares, but I mean it was an unlucky loss in the end. Did we deserve to win that game? Probably not. I think a draw would have been fair. We definitely didn't deserve to lose it. So we go into today, and I said to Dirk last night, you win and the mood just completely changes around the club. If we'd have lost today, then it could have really kind of tumbled and started to turn into a really toxic atmosphere around Rovers. So I'm glad we've got that win, and it'd be a resounding win. It kind of just dispels that toxic atmosphere that was starting to creep in. Obviously, the results don't help. The transfer window hasn't been the best by any means. We've lost a lot of championship appearances this season for the club, and even for, obviously players like Travis and Britton played a lot of football for this club, and they've gone. We've just lost a lot of championship appearances in general in terms of Iman and Bath. They're so well experienced in this league. And Dolan as well, obviously, even for his age, he played a lot of football at this level. So to lose that experience out of the team and replace them with unknowns is worrying, and it does come across as penny pinching, and it does annoy the fans. And then obviously, don't want to get into it too much, but the video I posted going viral of the chants of Tommy Robinson that were being sung, and then Rovers' response to that, which has wound the majority, I'd say, of the fan base up with the whole free speech debate that comes with banning people for chanting names. So it could have got very bad if we'd have lost today, so I'm very thankful that we put in a brilliant performance. Enough about kind of everything else. Let's talk about the performance firstly. Toff made a good couple saves, as I mentioned, before we scored. Nothing you wouldn't be expecting him to save personally, but there was a good decent header from McBurney, but straight at Toff, and another shot that their winger had, left winger, cut in and shot, and Toff again makes the save. It's straight at him really. But the best thing about it was that he put the ball out of danger, which isn't what their keeper did for the third goal. But we'll come on to that, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, Toff did what he needed to do. Albiasu, it was brilliant to see him back after he got stretchered off. I was worried that that could have been a season-long injury right there, but I don't know what it was that happened to him. I'm guessing it might have been some sort of concussion, but back on the pitch today, and as brilliant as he has been in the 2 prior games, I think he's a brilliant signing, and he's really stepped up. And I didn't think I'd be saying this, but I don't think we'll be missing Callum Britton. I'm not saying Albiasu's better by any means, but he's really filled his boots, to be fair. Hyam and McLaughlin, I mean, Hyam did a decent job today, was unlucky not to have scored. Corner comes in, it hits his back and it rattles the crossbar. But McLaughlin, wow, just completely contained McBurney today, and McBurney showing his frustrations at the end there, kicking off with McLaughlin, and you can understand why, to lose 3-0, and obviously for Hull just to do absolutely nothing after the first goal, which, the first goal came fairly early on, the 18th, 20th minute or so, did nothing for 70 minutes. You can kind of understand his frustrations. So, brilliant. And Ribeiro had a decent game, put in some good challenges at times. Tavares wasn't too bad today. I think he did well at keeping the ball moving, keeping it ticking over, and thankfully weren't on any corners today. Sondre, kind of a standard performance from him, nothing too special. But again, got stuck in with a couple challenges here and there. Cantwell, wow. I mean, this is the Cantwell we thought we were getting last season, and I'm so glad that he stepped up because we needed someone to step up this season, and it seems like he's going to. 2 goals in 2 league games now. He didn't play against West Brom, and I mean, he only scored 1 goal in open play the entirety of last season. He's already beaten that. So yeah, I mean, if this is Captain Todd and this is what we can come to expect for the rest of the season, then I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but maybe there is some hope. We could maybe try and push for those playoff spots after a shaky start, but today has given me some confidence. So, but I mean, it's just brilliant. Everything coming through the little triangles, just keeping the ball moving, playing some killer passes for Cogbo on that right side, just unleashing him down the wing, and obviously he's in there at the right spot at the right time to put his goal away, which as I mentioned, I think it was Albiasu. He puts the ball in, the keeper just comes out and hits it and puts it right into danger, right down the middle. You can't be doing that as a keeper. As I said, you got to be putting that away from danger to one side or the other, and he just puts it right down the middle, and Cantwell's there to clean it up and put it home. So fair play to Cantwell for that. Hedges, wow. I mean, I never thought I'd be saying this, but Hedges was brilliant today, and I don't know where this has come from. He's just completely new lease of life. I mean, he were decent against West Brom, but today was another level. And yeah, wow, that it was nice bit of play. Tavares puts it up to Cogbo. Cogbo brings it down. Cute little ball through for Hedges, who with a nice run from Hedges, well timed run, and just slots it over the keeper. Does what he tried doing at Preston those few years ago. We won't talk about that, but yeah, really tidy finish on his left, and that's the benefit of having Hedges on the left, I suppose. The fact that he is left-footed, so if that was slip through on his right foot, unless he tried doing a Watford, which I don't think he'll be ever be doing again. It's a once in a lifetime goal, that Watford. He is so one-footed, unfortunately. So he probably would have cut in or tried to pass or whatever. So it was nice for him to be on his left there and actually get a goal, which I think he only got 1 goal in all the games he played last season, which isn't really good enough. And that came in the second game last season, Norwich away. So he's got another goal early on. Hopefully it's not the only one he'll be scoring this season. And hopefully he can kind of kick on and take some confidence from it. I did think the second goal was his initially, but it did take a wild deflection off Yuki Ohashi. But straight from the great training ground, this one. I mean, again, brilliant from Todd, just perfect ball, slips it through, brilliant timed run from Hedges. The defender's just completely asleep, didn't expect it, and I don't think any of us expected it. Hedges gets it, it's on his left, puts it across the face of goal, and you put it in the dangerous area like that, and sometimes these things can happen where it just comes off someone and it goes in, and that's exactly what happened. Hits Ohashi and finds the back of the net. So really good ball from Hedges, put power on it, straight across the face, and like I said, if it hits someone there, there's every chance it's going in, and it did just that. So Hedges can feel a bit aggrieved that I did think it was potentially a shot at first when it went in. I thought surely he's not scored from there, but yeah, it did take a wild deflection, and that's Ohashi off the mark, but I'm sure not off the mark how he would have liked to have been off the mark, but I'm sure he'll take every goal he can get this season. But in terms of Cogbo, really dangerous again. As I said, got the assist, which is good to see. It's good to see him get a goal contribution. It's time for him to get a goal. Would be nice to see him get a goal, but some of that end product, which I've had worries about. You know, doing a cute little pass today like that really kind of shuts me up in a way, and because, you know, it's a really, really good pass that, and sees the vision there with Hedges going through and tucking it away, and, you know, that first goal is always the most important. He came close to Cardboard, running through, and just no one. Then McBurney was trying to catch up with him. He couldn't. Kind of nudged him a little and maybe put him off, but yeah, he puts it just wide a shot, and he just so dangerous. You know, defenders just can't contain him. Just having to bring him down all the time as soon as he gets some space, and he gets up and running, and they just don't want him running through on the counter. So yeah, I mean, and then Ohashi didn't do too much of note today, I'll be honest. Not a bad game. He found himself drifting wide left quite a few times towards the end there, but, you know, he got a goal, and that doesn't come from him, but he's in the right place, I suppose, and he gets on it, and it's his, so fair enough, but I do still have worries about the striking options. You know, Ohashi and Maktar are filling me with confidence right now that either of them are going to get over 15 goals this season, which, you know, we could really do with a player getting to that this season. We didn't last year, but, you know, the goals were very spread out last year. Is that going to be the case this year? I don't know. But I would like to see a new striker come in, but, you know, Maktar, when he come off the bench, was so frustrating, weren't he? I mean, how many times was he offside in 10 minutes? And yeah, someone needs to have a word with him about holding his line. But yeah, I mean, it's a brilliant performance away from home. I wish I'd have gone, but it is what it is. I've been to Hull more than enough times. I didn't think I were missing out on much, but missed out on the first win of the season. I picked West Brom instead to go to, so a bit gutted about that. But yeah, I'm glad we're off the mark. I'm glad that kind of dispels the toxicity, and hopefully we can go from strength to strength now, go into that Norwich game full of confidence. And, you know, it's a game we should be looking at home and thinking we should be able to take the 3 points. Take 3 points, and you kind of look at those first 4, and I think most fans would have took 6 points from those first 4 before the season. Not 4 easy games by any means, so, and it does start to get a bit easier in a few games' time, so hopefully we can start to pick up a bit of momentum. So yeah, cheers for watching, guys. Make sure to leave a like, obviously subscribe, and yeah, keep an eye out for the Norwich game. It'll probably be me vlogging. If not, it'll obviously be someone else. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, guys, listening, and I'll see you on the next one.